foul. No whistle. And the Rockets.
Kawhi aggressive to the rack.
Nice kick out. Doesn't hesitate. Wow. He went up top on that one right there, Brian.
Together, they've only gotten better. How about a turnover? Here comes Paul George. Oh, my.
I just love Pat. Look at him. Look at PG. Look back at Hutchinson. Put him in the basket. I just love Pat. Look at him. Look at PG. Look back at Hutchinson. Put him in the basket.
Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in to Khaliis Take. Now, today's take, we're going to be talking about why the Los Angeles Clippers look so dominant. And are they the best team in the NBA? But before we get into the video, please like, subscribe, leave any comments. Also hit the notification bell as well so you can see some of my previous videos and listen to some of the content. I think you will find the content to be interesting. So go ahead and hit that like button, notification bell, all the above. Check out my other videos and let me know what you think of my content and, you know, my take on the situation, what's happening in the NBA. And hey, let's just jump right into it though. Now, as far as the LA Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers, they're looking really good right now. And I think because the trades that they made this offseason, I think that's helping them be a dominant team in the league right now. When you think about Nicholas Batum being a knockdown three-point shooter, when you think about Serge Ibaka being a knockdown three-point shooter, it's going to be hard to stop them because they got shooters on their whole starting lineup. Their whole starting lineup can hit threes. And their whole star lineup hits threes at a pretty high rate. So when you look at that, everybody on the floor is a weapon. Even Patrick Beverley's shooting threes better this year than what he has in previous years. So, I mean, I have to say, I'm even impressed by Patrick Beverley. And, I mean, honestly, I haven't been impressed by Patrick Beverley much when it comes to offense. So, I mean, hey, the fact that he's actually doing good on offense, I mean, I know the Clippers are happy. And that's definitely good for their organization. Now, I will say, of course, the biggest reason for their dominance is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. When you think about them two, they're actually playing at a high level. Now today, they played the Knicks. They beat them 129-115. I think Kawhi Leonard had 28 points. I think, Paul George had 17 points. You know, he really didn't pitch in as much, but, you know, Kawhi pretty much sealed the deal for them against that game. So, like I said, you know, shout out to Paul George as well. He hit a big bucket at the end as well. But like I said, I think the reason why the Clippers look so dominant is because, like I said, the pickups that they made in the offseason were just really good. And to be on top of that, to top all that off, you add Ty Lue in there. Ty Lue is a really good coach, and I think a lot of people need to start recognizing that he's a lot better than what people think he is. You know, he's a player's coach, but he's also a coach that knows the X and O's, and he knows how to make adjustments. And I think that was something they were missing last year with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is a good coach. He knows the X and O's as well, but his adjustment making is really poor, especially when it comes to the playoffs, because that's the reason why I believe he did get the one championship. But I mean, it was with like a big three: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen. You can even say a big four if you add Rondo. But at the same time, I think he's only won one championship with all the talent that he's had because, you know, his adjustment making is not good. And if it was, I promise you, he had multiple championships. But this take is not about Doc Rivers. So kudos to the LA Clippers. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely playing really good ball, and I think they're dominant. Before they lost that one game, I think they was like on a 6-7 game winning streak. I think that was before Kawhi and PG it went out. But regardless, I mean, they're playing almost flawless basketball. They share the ball a lot. They shoot high percentage shots, and they're getting it to their star player, Kawhi Leonard, in his spots where he needs it. Because when you get Kawhi Leonard the ball in his spots, in his office, which is mid-range, he's knocking that down. Let's just be honest. That's what Kawhi does. Kawhi does that. And then PG is just on the wing, you know, playing his game effectively the way he does. So when you look at the Clippers, they look like a well-oiled machine. They don't really look like a team that's got a bunch of talent on there and there's no camaraderie. They look like a team that's well-oiled and gelled together, and they're playing as a unit, and they look like they're having fun out there. And I think that's the best thing. If you're having fun and you're winning and you're playing high-level basketball, I think that's the best method to be the best team in the NBA. And as far as that, I think right now, considering, I think they are the best team in the NBA. I mean, because I don't see no team that really, you know, can match up with them to a degree, because, you know, they have Ibaka in the paint blocking shots, or a potential shot blocker. They have Zubac as a backup, you know, that is a potential shot blocker and gets rebounds just like Ibaka does. The only thing Zubac can't do, of course, is shoot like Serge Ibaka, but it doesn't really matter because Serge Ibaka makes up scoring-wise for what Ibaka does, what Zubac doesn't do. So they factor each other out there. But even still, I would say Serge Ibaka is a better player than Zubac. Zubac ain't even, I don't know if he's been in the league that long, so I'm not even going to go there with that. But the Nicholas Batum pickup is the biggest to me, because now you got a wing player who can basically just drop threes out there all night long, as long as you keep feeding him. And then he could take somebody off the dribble and go into the paint, and he's a pretty decent passer as well. And I think that's where a lot of people underrate Nicholas Batum. He is a really decent passer. And honestly, I'm not even going to lie, I've been shocked by the Luke Kennard pickup as well, because he's been knocking down some big shots. He hasn't been turning the ball over. And whenever he gets an open shot, he's taking it. He's not even hesitating. And that's what I like about the whole team. And right now, Kawhi and PG, you know, Kawhi, they're playing really good, you know, and they're playing off each other, and they're understanding exactly where each other needs to be and exactly where each other likes the ball in certain spots for them to go out there and be effective and score. Now, they're scoring a lot of points. They're playing heavy minutes, but it's effective. They're winning. And the fact that Kawhi Leonard's playing back-to-backs, you know, I think that really helps the team out a lot mentally, because now their best player is all in and engaged mentally. And when you have that type of camaraderie, when you have your best player wanting to engage and have that camaraderie with the other players and the chemistry, it just makes the team, it makes the gel. I mean, it makes it all gel. It makes them flow together. It makes everything work for them. And I think that's the reason why they're riding high right now. And I think a lot of people need to acknowledge that. And right now, like, as I said, I think they're the best team in the NBA. And Kawhi Leonard is not in the MVP conversation, and if Paul George is not in the MVP conversation, I don't know who else should be in there. I mean, of course, you got LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I would throw KD in there, you know, I would throw Kawhi in there, of course, and then I would say, I would throw PG in there too, maybe with the exception of one other person or one other person or something like that. But like I said, I think you have to put Kawhi especially in there, because the last 6 games, I think he's been averaging like probably 28, 29 points a game. If you average the last 6 games he played, he's just been playing phenomenal. And he's just really just, you know, he's killing these teams right now. He's averaging 25.9, you know, with 50% shooting from the field. That's going to get it done. You're going to win a lot of games if your superstar is playing that way and your superstar is in that type of rhythm. Now, like I said, of course, they got a lot to prove in the playoffs just based off of what happened last year. But we're not in last year. We're in this year. And this year, they got it going. They're good. They're playing really well. You know, they're gelling. And I don't think a lot of people need to overlook that because how well they're playing. Now, I will say, of course, you know, the Lakers are always going to be the team that they have to get past. And if I hope this playoffs, when it actually comes, you know, later on down the line, I hope that's what the Western Conference Finals looks like. The Lakers versus the Clippers, and whoever wins the title, who is the king of LA, and gets to go to the NBA Finals. That'd be the greatest, like, show for us to see. So we all need to root for that to happen, especially. But yeah, like I said, right now Ty Lue's got this team going good. He's pushing the right buttons on these players. These players are responding, and they're playing at a clip that they weren't playing at last year. When I look at the likes of, you know, Marcus Morris, you know, he looks more comfortable in his own skin. He looks like he's playing how he's supposed to. Even today against the Knicks, he knocks down a big 3 in the corner that actually, you know, to me kind of sealed the game. But at the same time, like, you know, the whole team is playing with a different edge, you know. And the only concern I would say I have about the Clippers is, you know, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Lou Williams. Lou Williams is still a factor. Don't get me wrong. He's not scoring as much as he was, but they're winning a lot of these games without a lot of his scoring. So, you know, you have to look at that as one thing. And maybe he might be a part of the trade rumors that I hear, You know, I've heard trades in regards to Bradley Beal, Derrick Rose. I've heard trades amongst a couple other players too that I hear the Clippers are looking into. But if they're going to address the elephant in the room, it definitely needs to be Lou Williams, and maybe even throw somebody else in there. But like I said, you know, if they get the likes of a Derrick Rose, or I think even I heard Lonzo Ball, somebody like that. I mean, that would be a really big upgrade for them too. So, you know, when you look at it in that aspect, if they do get a point guard, a real traditional point guard added into the system and what they have going right now, they will be even more dominant than what they are now. Because then you're going to have to figure out, the point guard has a lot of access to the open lanes in the paint, because Kawhi and PG is out there. And then you got Serge Ibaka out there, players like him that's ready to knock down a three at any point. So is Nicholas Batum. So now the offense is going to be even more flux if they do make a trade and get a point guard. It'll almost be over for the NBA, I think. Now, I'm not, you know, saying that's for definite, because, you know, anything can happen, of course. But at the same time, if they get a trade or make a trade and get a point guard, it's really going to be hard for teams to beat them in a 7-game series, because now you got a point guard that takes the ball down the court, making less turnovers, less mistakes, and getting the ball to Kawhi Leonard in his spots. You get the ball to Kawhi Leonard in his spots, it's automatic. Then if you hit, you know, Paul George on the wing, maybe he's in the corner ready to spark up a three, that's bad signs, because that's a high quality shot. Same with Luke Kennard, same with Nicholas Batum. It's going to be really hard to beat them, especially if they do make that trade. But as of right now, it's really hard to beat them because they're gelling with everybody they have. And like I said, the way Patrick Beverly's playing, and shout out to Reggie Jackson, the way he's playing, it really makes it hard for teams to compete against them. So when you think about that, like I said, how good can this team be? This team could be even better than what they are right now. But my personal opinion, I say they're the best team in the league. Shout out to Utah Jazz. They're playing really good, you know, but at the same time, I still think the Clippers are a better team. I still think the Lakers are better than them. And I'm almost on the edge tempted to say that by the end of the year, the Dallas Mavericks, you know, teams like that might be gelling a little bit more. They might be a little bit, I'm not going to say maybe not, they might not be better than the Jazz, but I still think the Nuggets, a team like that, can, you know, beat the Jazz as well. So, yeah, like I said, it's early in the season still, but right now, if I had to give an award to the best team in the NBA right now, I have to go with the LA Clippers. They're playing at a high clip, playing at a high level. Kawhi Leonard's playing good. And I think everybody needs to watch out for that team. And if Paul George can sustain what he's doing, you know, through the season and take it into the playoffs, I mean, I think this team is going to be really hard to beat. And I think I would like to see them against like a team like, you know, the Nets or something like that coming up here soon, or whatever they play them. I think that'd be a great matchup if it happens. So we definitely need to see them against teams like that. But they have beaten the Lakers. They have beaten the Nuggets. You know, they've beaten I think the Phoenix Suns, I believe. You know, they beat the Warriors once, even though the Warriors, I think they might have beat them, but still, they've beaten some formidable teams. And they've beaten teams to let everybody know, put everybody on notice that the Clippers are here. So I don't think we should deny that anymore. And we should definitely keep an eye on them going forward to see exactly how they play during the season going forward, and see how they take it into the playoffs, because that's what everybody's interested to see. So shout out to Kawhi and PG and the rest of the crew. Hey, till next time.
Reese, you got that fire.